Sean Cahill strangles an alien. We have that and a lot more to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, we've got a lot to go through today, so I'm going to go as quickly as I can. The backstory is Sean Cahill and his wife had just had a fight, and he's going upstairs. And all of a sudden, he has this crazy encounter. He sees a UFO and an alien, and then some other stuff happens.
Probably why I was in trouble to begin with. Went up the stairs and looked out the window and called down to my wife. I said, "Jen, get up here." And she came right up. I said, "Look at that." Right over Steve's house next door, there's this weird, fat, pot-bellied, regular old flying saucer. Little dome on top. The dome looks like it's solid. Equatorial band going around the center with these huge, what look like rivets going around it, very steampunk looking. I'm incredulous that it looks so much like it's supposed to. That's what's bothering me. I'm also weirded out by it looks like it's sick. It's covered with a weird verdigris or rust that looks organic to me somehow. In that moment, I turn my head, my vision sees what I can only describe as Linda Moulton Howe's Trantiloids. A very scary, emaciated, high cheekbone, sallow face, rib cage showing. It was brown, and it was covered with the same red, rusty, organic verdigris problem that the saucer seemed to have. My memories are very tactile. I can feel them right now. I pushed the screen out with my hand. I put my right hand around its neck and reached with my left one and jumped out the window, trying to take it to the ground by the neck. I said, "I see you, MFer." I remember kicking the table over, going out the window, and then the next thing is I wake up in bed. I'm in the middle of our king-size bed. That's weird. All of me up to the neck is under the covers. That's weird. I never do that. And the phone rings. I pick the phone up, and it's my wife. Before I answer it, the flash of everything comes back through my head.
Okay, he goes on. What happened next was his wife told him that he was great last night, and it turns out that means, who knows what all that means, but he said some things to her that just was really great, and the way he talked to her and spoke with her was very loving, and they had had this bitter fight, and it may have even been leading toward a divorce, but all of a sudden things were smoothed over because of things he had said the previous night that he does not remember. He also doesn't remember anything more about his alien encounter, except that he woke up in his bed and the time had passed, and there were some oddities about how he was in bed. So he's, very confused about this. Later on, he does some meditation trying to get in touch with the phenomenon. And he has this crazy image that comes to him, or these beings that appear before him, mantis beings and various other sorts of beings. The mantis beings are in their capes, as they often are depicted by experiencer accounts. And, he's, very, very confused by this whole encounter or series of encounters even today. There's not really a moral to the story, or we don't know the point or what it all means or how it all fits together. Already a lot of people online are mocking Sean Cahill in his strangling the alien story, comparing him to a Star Trek episode. But I don't mock him at all. I take that very seriously. I think he's telling the truth as he knows it. Nobody knows what the real truth behind the phenomenon is. At least I don't, and I, don't claim to have known anybody that does. But yeah, I believe that he's telling the truth and that he had this crazy experience. It's not the first time that I've come across people that struggled against the beings physically. That happens on occasion, and it's a thing, and I take his account seriously. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm very intrigued by this meditation he did, where he was able to bring these beings to him or invite them to give him some wisdom or some knowledge, and they actually came. It doesn't, he didn't reveal any wisdom or knowledge that they gave to him during that encounter, and it's unclear if there was anything else to that encounter other than them simply arriving. Either way, a really, really amazing encounter, and I encourage you to check out his full speech at the link below. Meanwhile, Stephen Greer, the lovely Stephen Greer, maybe I shouldn't call him the lovely, but he's talking about releasing a lot of information. And this is from a recent video he made. But now he's talked before about his terabytes of data. Well, apparently he's about to actually release some of it.
So I'm just giving this as a warning to people listening. This is going to come out early next year. We are spending $400,000 or $500,000 to move all electronic files into digital, and all documents and testimony into digital that are now in a custom designed searchable database with major categories. We've been able to compress the videos and the audio files through a technology. So instead of it being 50 terabytes, we can keep it under a terabyte. And by doing so,
there you go. He's gonna release the files. He's gonna release his terabyte of information. He claims to have all this information, and he very well might. I give Stephen Greer a lot of crap, and he deserves it for spreading toxicity and disinformation among the UFO community, claiming there are no non-human abductions. Clearly, that is untrue. And I'm sorry if you're a big Stephen Greer fan. You probably don't like to hear me talk smack about Dr. Greer. But he does claim there are no non-human abductions, and that is untrue. So is he knowingly spreading disinformation? Is he unknowingly spreading disinformation? Does he actually believe that? Because he does seem to serve as kind of an alien apologist, saying they have never done anything wrong. Non-humans have never done anything wrong. Well, clearly that's not true. I don't want to paint a negative picture of the phenomenon. I myself have a positive view of the phenomenon overall, and my experiences have been very positive. However, I don't deny the negative experiences that others have had. And he does. So I have a large bone to pick with Stephen Greer. But he does have good contacts and good access. He's been able to bring some wonderful witnesses forward and whistleblowers forward. And I don't doubt that he has some intriguing information on this terabyte of data that he is going to release, presumably. Of course, all of it's going to serve his narrative that, the government is evil and they're the ones doing all the shady stuff, and the beings are good, but at least we'll get some information, hopefully not too colored by disinformation. But there you go. That's the Stephen Greer news of today. Let's see. Well, that's a story I may not cover, and that's the link to the full video, and I'll link to it below. The one has an interesting tweet here. List of UFO bodies allegedly in the possession of the United States government. What? A website with a DOS-looking UI pertaining to UFOs is always fun to speculate about. Most of these crash retrievals are known throughout UFO literature. The last one, Siberia, 9 ET living bodies. Interesting. And this is from this website, sacredtext.com. I'm not familiar with that at all. But as you can see, it gives a list of various UFO crashes and the bodies recovered from them. How many bodies there were? I wish it would tell us specifically what kinds. But there you go. From Roswell, there were 4 bodies recovered according to this information. Aztec, 12 bodies recovered from Aztec. In Mexico, south of Laredo, Texas, 1 body. I'm not going to be able to say that word. In Norway in 1952, 2 bodies, etc. There were 16 bodies recovered from Ely, Nevada. I'm not familiar with that case at all. And of course, I'm not vouching for this information. I don't know this website at all. but like the wand says, it is kind of fun to think about. So, let me know what you think about this information. And if you know anything about sacredtext.com or Literary Freeware Foundation, let me know, because that's pretty juicy, right? That's pretty juicy, if true. And of course, if you haven't heard the news, the House Oversight Committee will hold a classified U.A.P. briefing with the Intelligence Community Inspector General on January 9th. So that, of course, Tim Burchett is going to be there. So he'll be our eyes and ears in this classified U.A.P. briefing. It's unclear to me if that constitutes a skiff or not. But either way, it's something exciting to look forward to very, very early on in January. So really, really excited about that. Meanwhile, there is a asteroid that may or may not hit the Earth in 2024. NASA responds to claims lost asteroid 2007 FT3 will hit Earth in 2024. Several news outlets have reported that the Earth may be hit by a lost asteroid this year. According to the reports, if asteroid 2007 FT3 were to hit Earth, it would do so with the equivalent energy of 2.6 billion tons of TNT. NASA has lost track of it, and it has a chance of hitting the planet on October 5th. So given that all that sounds, to use a technical term, not great, what is really going on? Then you can read the whole article if you want to. One takeaway is that though that may sound a tad alarming, there really isn't anything to worry about. One potential point of contact, or where the asteroid was supposed to be closest to Earth, took place in 2019. As you might have noticed, it didn't. NASA and other observatories track the orbits of objects discovered in the solar system, keeping a particular eye on near-Earth objects, 140 meters and larger in size, that could cause devastation if they were to cross paths with Earth. So far, astronomers have been able to predict the orbits of known objects up to about 100 years in the future. Well, that's pretty good. The good news is that no known asteroid larger than 140 meters in size has a significant chance to hit Earth for the next 100 years. Well, let's hope that's true. It says, should 2007 be found again in a sky survey or by astronomers trying to track its path, we can learn more about its orbit, perhaps enough to remove it from the list of potential Earth impactors, or in the unlikely event that it should be heading our way, prepare a mission to deflect it. All right, well, Bruce Willis, get ready. Meanwhile, this is really, really interesting. Ross Coulthard has some interesting things to say about a team that's not affiliated necessarily with any government, that goes around the world, perhaps performing crash retrievals, investigating interesting anomalies.
And I've been told by people I have to be careful here. Let me just say I'm aware of claims that there is a group of ex-military who go around the world investigating the phenomena. And my understanding is they're not paid by any government, they're paid by a private aerospace company based out of Long Beach, California. I've spoken to former military personnel who claim to have been part of that body. A number of them are people who've worked for our Defence Signals Directorate, as it was then known, or other intelligence or military services in our country. But I'm told there is a collaborative effort to investigate the phenomenon and to retrieve any physical samples. And this has been going on for some time.
Previously, he has talked about a team from Long Beach, hired by an aerospace company that went to Australia to retrieve a downed UFO. I find that very interesting because he also talks about Australian teams that go outside of Australia to retrieve UFOs. So why wouldn't the Australian team retrieve the one in Australia? I'm sure there's a reason for it, but that is weird. But he must be talking about the same company based out of Long Beach. that he has uncovered that are doing these crash retrievals and perhaps investigating other, aspects of the phenomenon. I really want to learn more. How connected are they to the UFO control group? Surely there is a connection. Are they part of the UFO control group? I would guess so. They're part of an aerospace company or hired by an aerospace company. So we're likely looking at a team, probably one of many teams associated with the UFO control group. And that's fascinating. I would love to learn more. Hopefully, Ross will reveal more in the days to come. So let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today. Sean Cahill strangling aliens, a list of alien bodies recovered from a UFO. Dr. Stephen Greer saying that he is about to release a terabyte of juicy UFO related information. I am really excited about that. And now we have Ross Coulthart talking about a group that goes around the world investigating the phenomenon, not necessarily restricted to UFO crash retrievals. So what are they doing? I would love to know. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord links are below. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt. See the merch store below or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Channel members also often get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.